I came to the city to chase my passion, but now it feels locked away and I have lost the key. And this isn't the only letter that made me stop and think. Today, we read voices of hope, despair, confusion, and surrender, all written to Krishna. This is Letter to Krishna. Our first letter comes from Vaishnavi, who writes with a question many of us have whispered in the quiet moments of our lives. Why me? Hare Krishna, I am Vaishnavi. I have some question to ask you. Why are you doing this? Am I only who is always gonna suffer? But why always me? Have I done anything? Non deserving. I'm not you to decide who is deserving and who is non deserving, and you will only decide I'm deserving or not. People of my age are getting what they want, and here I'm stuck. I believe in you no matter what happened. I take it as my destiny and think that you have better plans for me. I'm praying you and believing you, but sometimes I think you are not listening to my prayers because you're not answering them. I only want you to answer it and give me a hint what to do. I'm very confused. Please, Krishna, listen to my prayers and give me a hint what should I do. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Radhe Radhe, thank you. Dear Vaishnavi, you have written with such raw honesty and trust, and that takes courage. Your words are a reflection of someone who has not only kept faith but also dared to question from the depths of her heart. That honesty itself is a sign of a sincere seeker. In moments like these, when it feels like the world moves forward to everyone but you, remember this verse from the Bhagavad Gita. The self controlled soul who moves amongst sense objects, free from either attachment or repulsion, wins eternal space. Sometimes the answer is not in when life changes, but in who we become while we are waiting. You may not see it now, but these pauses, these unanswered prayers are not denials. They are shaping you, giving you strength, patience, and clarity for when the right door finally opens. So keep doing what you can, Vaishnavi. Keep walking. Even if the path feels empty, and holds on to your faith not as a bargain for blessings, but as an anchor that keeps you steady until the tide turns. And remember, what is meant for you will always arrive, and it will arrive in a way that no one, not even you, could have planned better. Vaishnavi's words remind us of the quiet battles we fight while waiting for the life to turn in our favor. Our next letter is fighting a battle too, but theirs is against time, ambition, and a dream that they have carried for years. Hare Krishna, why is my life full of sorrows? I am unable to catch up with the topics going at my college. I feel like I am going away from IIT. My dream is to get in the topmost IIT, but due to the Instagram incident, I am unable to focus on what is happening in the college of my 11th class, and I am getting worst nightmares. Krishna, I surrender all my pain. Please protect me from everything I suffer. Dear friend, your letter carries the weight of someone who is not just chasing a dream, but also fighting storms inside. The fact that you're willing to surrender your pain instead of running from it, that's a strength many never discover. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never be attached to the results and never be inactive. Your path to the IIT is not only about books and exams, it's about training your mind to stay steady no matter the distractions or setbacks. The Instagram incident, the nightmares, these are just waves on the surface. Your goal is the ocean beneath, calm, deep, and unshaken. Every time your mind wanders, bring it back, even if it takes 100 times in a day. Small steps count, and remember, Your dream is not slipping away. It's simply asking for a stronger version of you to rise and claim it. Hold faith, keep showing up, and let your surrender to Krishna be your shield. Your battle is not over, and neither are you. Dreams can test our patience, but sometimes life itself tests the limits of our endurance. Our next letter is from someone who asked to stay anonymous. Their struggle is not just with their dreams, but with the people who stand in the way. The thing is, I was never spiritually or religiously devoted to any particular religion, but then the YouTube page kept popping on my feed and it resonated with me. I just want to say, I came from a home where my mother was, and maybe still is, very toxic. She tracks my every move, thinks I am a bad person, and that I will dishonor her. I get her concerns because I constantly fall sick and also have epilepsy. I know she hates it when I suffer, but I suffer because of her actions, because of her questioning my every move, my every step, her constantly comparing me to my cousins who earn very well. I came to a new city and have a job, but my CEO is even more toxic. He calls us at 7 a.m. and then leaves us at 10 p.m. Not just because he wants us to work, but he wants to take out his personal frustrations on all of us, that is, new trainees. I have a good accommodation, but no time to myself. Being the only person who talks back to him, I feel so drained out. He's a sadist, rude to everyone. He has also cut my every paid leave, including sick leaves, up until next year. I am confused whether I go back to my hometown to my toxic mother or do I stay here and put up with this toxic boss. I won't lie, maybe my parents are or were less toxic than my boss. But here I get a taste of freedom even though it is minimum. I don't know what to do. I am confused. If I leave now, will I learn? But at the same time, the working hours, the comments, and him making belittling me and my other colleagues, I don't find that acceptable. I want to stay in the city only, but I am afraid I will not find a new job. I came to this city to pursue my passion, and it feels the passion is hidden in the chest kept inside a locker whose key I have lost. I don't even get time to go for interviews at other companies. I feel so weak. I hope I can find help and pursue what I really want to. Sing my heart, my words out like I really want to. That's it. May I find peace. Thank you. Dear friend, your letter carries the voice of someone who has walked through storms and still hold on to hope, and that in itself is remarkable. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, even a little progress on the spiritual path can protect one from the greatest fear. This progress isn't just about prayer, it's about choosing your well being, your dignity, and your truth one step at a time. Right now, life is asking you to protect your energy. Toxic environments, whether at home or work, can cloud your passion. Your dream isn't gone, it's waiting. Make small moves toward it daily, however tiny they seem. You are stronger than you feel, and every choice you make for your peace will bring you closer to the freedom you seek. Keep faith. You are not lost, only in the middle of the chapter. The next page can still hold your song. Some battles are fought in workplaces, some in homes, and some entirely within our own minds. Ashna's letter is a reminder that even in a life filled with blessings, a heart can still feel heavy. Dear Krishna, hi Krishna, this is Ashna again. Krishna, I have been wondering, Ever since hearing about people's tough lives from their letters, or even my friends and family and the people around, I wonder why my life is so easy and how am I so privileged, yet my mind is so negative. It's come to the point I feel bad for having such an amazing life compared to others with struggles. A supporting family, good friends, good finance, good business, the ability to have so much clothes and go out and travel so much, it's unimaginable. I always hear that you give your biggest devotee the greatest struggles, but I don't have any, and sometimes wonder if I'm truly a devotee of yours. Although I still have a negative mind. When the smallest thing happen, like when something doesn't go my way, or I get too sensitive from someone's criticism or simple comment, most days, behind closed doors of happiness and a smile, I cry. I feel empty and worthless, ugly and fat, like I'm such a big problem maker and such a selfish person. In fact, the two things I've always been getting called is selfish and boring. Krishna, I try my hardest to stay positive and calm when someone says these things to me. But I always take it to my heart. And now I really believe I'm such a person. I've tried talking to you, Krishna. When I do talk to you, sometimes I feel peace. Sometimes I feel joyful. And other times, I don't feel anything at all. I'm trying my hardest to find my way to you in my day to day life. I always try to chant your name, listen to your songs, and read about you or simply remember you throughout my day. But sometimes I get so attached to other material things. It's like cycle. Sometimes I'm so happy and connected with you in peace. Then the next I fall back into sinful activities and have no peace. No matter what, I will still find my way back to you as much as I can. Sorry for sharing such a roller coaster filled with emotions, Krishna. I really thank you for listening to me. Thank you for guiding me and protecting me. I love you so much and I hope to remember you all the time and spread kindness like you would, and most importantly, get away from the negative thoughts. Yours truly, Ashna. Hare Krishna. Dear Ashna, your honesty is a gift, not just to Krishna, but to everyone who will hear your words. Most people hide their feelings behind their privileges, but you have chosen to share them with courage. And that shows a heart that is already walking towards truth. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, for one who has conquered the mind is the best friend. But for one who has failed to do so, the mind will remain the greatest enemy. Your struggles may not look like others. You may not face financial loss or family hardship. But your battle is still real. It's the battle of the mind. And winning that battle can be harder than climbing any mountain because it's fought in silence, in moments no one else can see. Remember, sensitivity is not weakness, it's awareness. But awareness without self compassion can turn into self criticism. Every time you hear those hurtful words replaying in your head, replace them with something Krishna would say to you. You are mine, you are enough, you are loved. Your privilege is not something to feel guilty about. It's something to use as a lamp in other people's darkness. Every act of kindness, every moment of listening, every time you choose compassion over judgment, that's devotion in action. Keep returning to Krishna, even if it's 1,000 times a day. Every return strengthens the bridge between you and Him until one day you will realize the bridge has become your home. From questions and pain to gratitude and surrender, our final letter today is like a deep breath from a storm. It's a birthday wish to Radha Krishna, written by someone whose life has been transformed by their love. Dear Radha Krishna, first of all, a very happy birthday to you. I don't know how to express my gratitude. You have changed me in so many ways. An anxious girl who used to get tensed even over a small problem, who was restless and worried all the time, is now surrounded by your love. I am still not where I wanted to be. I'm still struggling, still trying to prove myself. But I know I'm not alone now, that you are with me, always holding my hand through all the problems. Radha Krishna, I just hope you stay with me always. I will work hard. I will do my best. I promise. I'm not asking for you to change my results. Just hold me close to you. With you, I know I can clear all the blockages easily. You know, I have never had friends in my life, never being loved by any person. I've always given and received just pain and betrayals in return. People left saying I was too naive to handle. The only thing I had was my career, but in a bid for public service. I chose a different path, worked day and night, but failed with no door left open to return. I'm still struggling with my career. You know everything. I'm not complaining, not at all. Because now I don't need people, I have you both. You will give me something I could have not imagined. And I know that is the very reason you're giving me these tests. I completely surrender to you today because truly I have no one apart from you. I have full faith in you. I love you both. Happy birthday again and hope you will like your gift. Your friend and forever yours. Dear friend, your words are filled with faith, surrender, and love. A gift far greater than anything wrapped in paper. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, to those who are devoted to me, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. You may feel alone in the world, but you are never alone in His hands. Every struggle is shaping you for the blessings He has prepared. Keep walking, keep trusting, and let His presence be your strength. Your devotion is your greatest power, and He will never let go of your hand. From questions to quiet faith, from struggle to surrender, every letter is a prayer finding its wings. Krishna's replies are not always heard in words. Sometimes they bloom as peace in the heart, and until that peace comes, we keep walking, we keep believing, and we keep loving Him. Thank you for spending this sacred moment with me today. If something stirred in your heart while listening, if a memory came up or a realization, a simple wave of emotion, don't hold it back. Let it speak through you. Your letter to Krishna is more than just a message. It's energy, it's intention. It's a frequency that can ripple through your life and touch others who may be feeling the same things but don't know how to deal with them. If you have been holding something in, this is your sign to let it out. Email your letter to Krishna to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can also send audio files. Every Saturday, we will sit together in the next episode of Letter to Krishna and we will read your words aloud, just as they are, from one soul to another. Some may be full of gratitude, some filled with pain, others filled with longing or love. But each one will be honored, respected, and shared with the same quiet devotion you wrote it with, and offer a heartfelt reply. Because when you share your truth, you don't just free yourself, you help someone else feel seen. Let's keep creating this space together. Real, safe, soulful. And remember, Krishna is not far. He hears you even in the silence. Hare Krishna and take care.